What is up, football fans, and welcome back to Play Action Takes, Ball Media's NFL podcast, brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all football season long. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. They got 14 locations in the greater Houston area. Best wings, best football, best drinks are had at Big City Wings. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Kush Patel. We're recording this on Tuesday, September 16th. We did not have a good football weekend. How are we doing?
We did not.
Unbelievable. Can't believe it happened 2 weeks in a row for your team.
It's been 2 weeks of hell for you and me.
Do you want to start with my team or your team, Kush?
Let's go with you first.
Okay.
And then we'll get to my team.
So I was in Miami this weekend, so we didn't record on Monday. We're switching up the schedule now. We're going to do recordings Monday and Fridays instead of live streams. It'll be up on Monday afternoons typically, but I was traveling back from Miami yesterday. Had a great weekend in Miami. Ate some great food. Had sushi, Italian, Mexican. I had it all down in Miami. Played some good golf. Had some sun. Got a little sunburnt. Drank a lot of pineapple tequilas. Had a great time. And then for 3.5 hours, I had the most miserable time I could have ever had. It's incredible that it just keeps happening to me over and over and over and over again. I'm a Dolphins fan because my dad's a Dolphins fan. My dad's a Dolphins fan because his dad's a Dolphins fan. How I got stuck with the worst iteration of the three generations here sucks tremendously. My dad got season tickets. He's all excited after COVID 2021, first season ticket holders. We got some promise. We got some exciting things. We fired coach right after that. Hired McDaniel, scored 70 points. It's a lot of fun. What I learned this weekend is damning evidence of what we are seeing on the football field. Obviously, the Dolphins lose to the Patriots 33-27, back-to-back special teams touchdowns. If you're not a fan of either of those teams, that game was awesome. That was a lot of fun. If you are a fan of one of those teams, specifically the Dolphins, that sucked. That was awful. And what I saw out of Tua was something that I heard on Friday night or Thursday night. When I get to Miami, my dad is relaying this information that he hears. So my dad and Tua are in close proximity to each other and some activities that they do in Miami. So then all the people that work at this establishment tell us all of these things. I've heard a lot of things over the last 1.5, 2 years that my dad's been a member there, and it's a lot of interesting things. I have no reservations when it comes to this. Typically, I hold on to that information. I don't let it out, or I don't reveal what it was. I just hear something. I'm like, that was interesting, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm saying something on this podcast. Tua Tagovailoa. First-round draft pick, 5th overall, Heisman contender, national champion. He got all these promises, all these things. He got this big money deal, $55 million a year. Good for him. He has been telling people at this establishment over the course of the summer, leading into training camp, preseason, he's still going to this establishment when he probably shouldn't. He should be focusing on film or throwing a football. He's not doing that. He's telling all of the members that work at this establishment that this is his last year in Miami and probably his last year playing football. He does not care about this team. He does not care about the product that is going on the field, for the hard-earned money that people are putting into tickets, to merch, all of the things for this team. He does not care anymore, and it shows. He's throwing picks left and right. He says he saw Julian Hill as part of the progression, but he didn't see him. That's what he just said in his media availability like 20 minutes ago. Like, he has a first down on a 4th down, and he decides to throw a pick in the 4th quarter, driving to go take the lead. He doesn't care anymore. He gave up. This team looks like it gave up. There are exactly 2 dogs on this team. There are 2 dogs that I saw on Sunday. I'm pretty close. I'm right on the sideline of the Dolphins. And the only 2 people that looked like they gave a shit throughout the entire 3.5 hours of that game were Willie Gay, who played 4 snaps, maybe, and special teams. That was it. He's the only one that looked like he gave a shit on defense. And the only one on offense that looked like he gave a shit, well, there was 2. But one specifically, Jalen Waddle, came off the sideline after that pick, and at the end of the game when Tua ran out of bounds 2 times in a row and took a sack to lose the game, Jalen Waddle comes over and is screaming at the coaches. He's screaming at the offensive staff. He's screaming at everyone that will listen to him that this is bullshit. This is horseshit. Do something. Do something with the ball. And Tua looks like He does not care anymore. He's going to take his paycheck and leave all the guaranteed money, call it a day, retire at 27 with $130+ million in the bank. Good for him. Good for him. But this is bullshit, and I'm over it. The Dolphins suck. I've put all of my Dolphins gear in a drawer, and that will not be open until maybe next year when I decide that I'm ready to do this again. I went into the game emotionless. I got a little emotional during the game because it looked fun. We started doing things. Not anymore. I'm over it. I'm over it. And there's going to be no excitement from me for the end of the year. We're going to get fucking killed on Thursday against the Buffalo Bills, and it's not going to matter anymore. The Dolphins are going 1-15. I'm calling it a day.
Yeah, after your little rant there, I mean, the way that it's gone for you guys this season so far, like, how many games are we giving the head coach until he gets fired? I mean, it just feels like that locker room, it just feels like he's already lost the locker room. I mean, even just after week 1, after they got blown out by the Colts, which, by the way, the Colts looked pretty good in week 2.
Might not be bad, but still.
But, I think your head coach is a dead man walking pretty much. Like, I kind of watched a little of his press conference, and there was no excitement at all. Like, I think everybody in the building, like, nobody wants to be there. And it kind of reminds me of the first year the Texans tanked after Bill O'Brien. Like, nobody wanted to be there. The place was, like, filled with dead air. I remember one time I went to a Texans game that year, and I was sitting in the lower bowl for like $20, and it just, when apathy sets in with your fan base and your football team, that's when you're in the fucking gutter.
Yeah, and the national championship is being held in Miami. My dad was like, I want those tickets in my seats. Like, I would like to have those just so I can go. Like, that's a wonderful idea. And they were like, yeah, actually, you got to re-up your season tickets. And it's not just a 1-year deal for his seats. Like, you got to do multiple years. And he's like, I guess. Just so we can have the national championship. He didn't even know if he wanted to go back to the Dolphins. And he's been a fan for 50-something years now at this point. It's like, this is insane. So, yeah, the Dolphins are dead. It's over. I'm scouting QBs starting this week on Saturday. Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, the whole coaching staff, T-minus 4 days before they're fired, like, they're going to get killed by Buffalo. There is no world that game is close. They're going to get killed on Thursday night in Buffalo. I think since you have an extra couple days there, you go ahead and clean house. You get rid of the GM. You get rid of the coach. You might bench Tua and just see what you got in Quinn Ewers. Do we have another Brock Purdy? Maybe. I don't know. He's a 7th-round pick. Quinn Ewers, pretty good in college. See what he has. And if he's ass, then you draft a quarterback with the 1st through 5th overall pick again, because it's over. Redo it all. With that being said, let's talk about the Texans. Your team, Monday Night Football. The boys went. Shout out to Academy for sponsoring a little bit of content there. They went to the game. They paid for tickets. I think they had a pretty good time for a little bit there, and then it was the worst time ever. Garrett, I'm surprised he's alive. I'm surprised he came back home and didn't jump off of the upper deck. But they're back. Texans lose on a field goal. I fell asleep again. I got back from Miami. I was exhausted. I had too many pineapple tequilas on Sunday. I fell asleep with like a minute and a half left, which is not the time to fall asleep. But woke up like as they're doing their post-game stuff on the field. 2019. That's tough. Not a great game.
Yes. Here, the thing about the Texans is, I mean, last week I picked the Bucs to win, and you kind of saw why I picked them to win, because one thing I didn't expect on defense is I didn't expect us to give up 169 yards rushing. Like, they couldn't run the ball, and when the defense has that type of game, it's going to be hard for the Texans to, win games like that. And then, the offense, that first drive, I love that first drive. Nick Chubb got going a little bit, the screen pass, and then the touchdown to Nico Collins. And then the second drive, again, the pass to Woody Marks out of the backfield, he makes a huge play. And then after that, they just, I don't know what happened. They stopped going to that stuff. And then eventually, like, CJ was pressured. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers knew that, okay, your offensive line is not good. They can't pick up blitz. And another thing is, CJ Stroud is not to the point in his development where, you know, he's like good at IDing these blitzes that they're going to throw at him. And they the offensive line kind of held up as well as they could have, but at the end of the day, they're not they're not good. And then the D'Amico Ryan's decision to call those plays, Nick Haley, whoever it was, at the one on the goal line was, I don't know what to say, because the thing is, like, D'Amico Ryans wants to run the ball, right?
Can't run the ball.
You're at the one, so I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna hand it off to Nick Chubb. Like, that's your RB1 right there. You're gonna hand it off to Nick Chubb. Daria Ogunbowale is in the game. They start with like a zone read. That doesn't go anywhere. And then a couple inaccurate passes, one to Nico Collins. And it's just, to the Texans fan base, I'll kind of say, like, I think this offense it's so much a work in progress that, like I said, last week and the week before, to me, it's a week-to-week thing, Like, we don't know what to expect. Like, how, are they going to improve next week with the offensive line? We don't know. And, like, the thing with CJ Stroud is he's talented. He has so much potential. But if you really think about it, this is his first year ever, like, really, like, running an NFL offense. And it's going to take time. And to me, like, even the stuff we saw, last night, the pre-snap stuff where he's not able to read the defense and read the blitz and make the proper, like, adjustments at the line. It might take till midseason. I don't know. And I think the hope with the Texans, like Nick Caserio GM-wise, is, okay, we know he's in his developmental stage for right now. And we're kind of hoping our defense is good enough to win us some games, I think that's the way they're kind of going into it.
Yeah, and with the Texans, I thought CJ looked pretty good last night. It was kind of in a flow of game. Obviously, the offensive line was not very good, but he looked decent enough. But the wide receivers weren't getting open enough, and if they were, CJ didn't have the time or was getting hit as he threw. The running game is a problem. If you can't run the ball, you're not going to win games. It's how it works. Every Super Bowl team is able to run the ball every year. The representatives from each conference are able to run the ball when they get to the Super Bowl. The Texans are running inside zone every damn play. And I'm like, can you try an outside zone play once just to see if it works? Because that's my biggest thing. And I've noticed it not just with the Texans, but the Dolphins and a lot of other teams in the NFL and college is like, if the inside zone doesn't work, then they're just going to throw the ball instead of just trying one outside zone to see if they can get outside the tackle and get your 5 yards. And if that works, maybe you keep trying outside zone. But no one's doing it. No one's regrouping and being like, hey, maybe try an outside zone or sweep or a toss or a pitch. Like, do one of those things to see if you can get the running game going a little bit. They just didn't do that enough. Woody Marks, though, big play, not a big deal, Mississippi State. I had an Oklahoma fan in my mentions last night because I just tweeted out the clip of Woody Marks with the big pass play out of the backfield and ran it for, 30, 40 yards. And I said, Woody Marks, Mississippi State. And the Oklahoma fan was like, he went to USC, idiot. And I was like, okay, well, let's just check that one more time because he was a senior at Mississippi State. He was there for 4 years almost. And we just went back and forth. He kept calling me a casual, and then he never responded once I just screenshotted the roster from 2023 or whatever it was with Woody Marks. But, yeah, you can't run the ball, and then your defense played pretty good last night, and then when you needed them to stand and get one more stop, they couldn't do it. Like, that's where it ultimately ended up. Like, you had the lead.
Yeah, I mean,
you couldn't get the stop.
Now that you bring that up, like, Baker Mayfield to me, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I liked how he.
I think he belongs in that tier 1 elite quarterback status, in my opinion.
I liked how he got hurt, and like his ankle looked like it twisted real weird, and I was like, oh no, is it dislocated? Like it was a weird tackle, and he fell weird on it, and I was like, and he grabbed it immediately, but then the cornerback stood up on him, and Baker just got up and got in his face. I was like, oh, yeah. He can't get hurt if someone's going to try to talk shit to him because he's going to talk shit. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Baker was really good, and the one thing like another one of the reasons I picked the Bucks is because as good as our defense is, as good as our edge rushers are, I just think Baker has that uncanny ability to where when there's pressure around him, like he can get out of the pocket, and the guy can run, dude. He's got legs, and you saw that on that 4th and 10, late in the game.
Yeah, it was a great game for the Bucks. I mean, they're just kind of surviving right now without Wirfs, and Bucky Irving just goes off, and Igbuka's been incredible for 2 games. Mike Evans hasn't really done anything. It's like 5 catches for 50, 60 yards the first 2 games. Like, you haven't even gotten going yet. And the defense looks pretty good. Obviously, the Texans and the Falcons, we're not sure about either of those offenses just yet, but good enough to win games, like less than 20 points and right on the dot with 20, 23 points or whatever in the first game. So they're looking really good. And if they can get healthy, then it's going to be a fun season for the Bucks. But yeah, the Texans O-line is not good, and then the defense couldn't stop the run and couldn't get the stop at the end of the game. It's just it's tough sledding for the Texans and the Dolphins. It's going to be a rough
One more thing I'll
podcast.
say on the Texans and the Bucks is good teams find ways to win, which is what the Bucks did. Bad teams find ways to lose, which is what the Texans did.
Yeah, it's tough. Let's go through injury reports. Joe Burrow out till December with turf toe. I learned what turf toe was because I was unsure. Like, is it just your toe hurting? No, it turns out like your muscles are just tearing at the top of your foot by your toes.
Sounds
like,
painful. Ugh.
It's not good. So he has to have surgery. He's out till sometime in December at the earliest. He might be shut down for the entire year. J.J. McCarthy got hurt. He's out 2 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Josh Allen broke his nose. A lot of quarterback injuries this week. Not fun. I don't like that at all. It's week 2, and we're losing quarterbacks left and right now. That doesn't sound fun. I'm going to have to watch Carson Wentz next week for the next 2 to 4 weeks. No, I'm good. I'm expecting Tua to be dead after Thursday night, so there's another one. You just add him to the book. And then Burrow, potential season-ending injury for the 3rd time in his season, or in his career. He's been sacked 27 more times than Andrew Luck was, and he's played 15 more games than Andrew Luck ever did. And they're in the same year. Like, I think Andrew Luck finished out this season, and that was his last year in the NFL. That's insane that he's been pressured and sacked more than Andrew Luck ever was. And Andrew Luck was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And Joe Burrow, I don't feel like is going to do that, but he could. I don't know. It's insane how many injuries we had in week 2. Don't like that, especially when Josh Allen broke his nose and he's on my fantasy team, multiple fantasy teams. I didn't like that, but Josh Allen's going to go for 55 points against the Dolphins, so I'll be all right.
Yeah, Joe Burrow being injured is not good for the league's product. I mean, he's obviously clearly one of the most popular players in the NFL, one of the best players in the NFL when healthy. And it's not good for the Bengals as a team because their defense was okay. I mean, they played a little bit better than I thought they would play in week 2.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is not good. And that's a big, topic of discussion with the Bengals organization, for the past however many years since they made the Super Bowl, right? After they made the Super Bowl, everybody was like, all right, just good team, got to get offensive line. They haven't done anything with it since. They kind of just rode that wave for a couple of years. But it sucks to see him out because just as a fan, watching him he's amazing, dude. And then how about Josh Allen with the broken nose? He's gushing blood all over the place. Has to come out, goes back in. That guy's a warrior.
Hockey guy, real hockey guy right there, throwing the tissue up the nose, getting out there again.
And then J.J. McCarthy, he had that big game last week, and then this week a couple of his offensive linemen are out. The Falcons' pass rush just dominates him all game long. He's hurt, and it sucks for me because that was my Super Bowl pick. I look kind of stupid right now.
It's week 2. You got plenty of time. I mean, the Giants went 0-2 to start the season. The 2 times they won the championship with Eli Manning. So anything can happen. But yeah, I don't like all the injuries. I never have liked all the injuries because I like to watch football on Sundays. I like to watch good football on Sundays, and I'm not able to do that with my team most of the time. I would like to watch the other teams play really well. And when all these quarterbacks just start dropping like flies, that's tough. So Not ideal. Like you said, the Minnesota Falcons game was not really fun on Sunday night. The Falcons looked pretty good. They were able to run the ball a lot and do something they weren't able to do in week 1 against the Bucs. So there's still hope there. It wasn't a big win, but a good one. Was it 20-9? So wasn't a crazy one, but yeah, the Bengals doing this again. Just like, sure, we'll keep Trey Hendrickson, we'll give him a new contract, but we won't address the offensive line again. And then Joe Burrow immediately sacked, hurt. Like it's tough. You can't do that. You got to win through the trenches. And man, a lot of teams just ignored it, our teams included. So not ideal. Last thing on our show notes was Chiefs-Eagles. Watched that pretty much the full game. I got home probably halfway through the first quarter, back to the condo, and that game stunk. PU. It's like an awful football game. Like, it wasn't even entertaining, even though it was close. No team could really move the ball. Jalen Hurts had 101 yards. He's chirping, or Chris Jones chirped him because he barely had 100 yards, and Jalen Hurts is like, check the fucking scoreboard, man. Like, we're winning. Like, what is the point of football? Is to win the game. Jalen Hurts has 0 touchdowns so far. My A.J. Brown pick in one of my leagues for fantasy, disastrous. It's that was just a bad game all around. I did not have fun watching that game. I thought there was going to be a lot of really good games this week, and they all happened to be at like 1 o'clock, and I wasn't able to watch them all because I was in the stadium in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, with the Chiefs and Eagles, like, to me, I really didn't enjoy watching the game. Not because it wasn't a good game, or because it was like a shitty game. It's just I really enjoy the first 2 weeks watching the teams with the new additions, right? The new players, the new coaches. You know, what do they look like? With the Chiefs and Eagles, we kind of know what they're going to look like in week 2 of 2025. You know, like I think these two teams are going to be more fun to watch like later on down the line in the season rather than right now. So, I mean, I don't think we really learned anything about these two teams. Like, and then one thing I want to ask you is, what did you think about Tom Brady in the booth with the headset on?
I think he's improving. He keeps getting better. He's not the worst anymore. I'll put it that way. His voice is tough, though. He's got kind of a lisp, and I don't like listening to Tom Brady right off the bat, so he's already at a disadvantage because I hate him. But he's gotten better. He's gotten significantly better than he was when he first started, which is how a lot of these guys go. Like Tony Romo, I hated his first year, and everyone loved him because he's exciting and all that kind of stuff. I didn't like that. He got better, then he got worse, and then he got better again. I think he's good now. The only announcing team that I really enjoy is Joe Book and Troy Aikman. That's it. That's the one I like. And I wish they could call every game.
Like there was a huge like deal being made about, you know, how Tom Brady's a minority owner of the Raiders.
Yeah, now he can't enter
Fox, and he's kind of in the booth with the Raiders, so everybody's making a big deal of that.
Yeah, now he can't go into team facilities anymore. That just came out a couple hours ago. So yeah. He's getting banned and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like they signed him to that giant deal, Fox did, and then he went one more year in the NFL, prolonged it a little bit, and then immediately he's just like, yeah, I'm going to buy the Raiders part of it and like run with that. So it's like, how do you not like void the contract? Being like, you can't call a game if you own a team. Like, that just seems ridiculous that the NFL is just like, yeah, Tom Brady, booth, do it. I don't care. And now they're like, maybe he can't. Maybe he shouldn't. Speaking of the Raiders, though, Geno Smith, bad. Real bad. Yeah. Geno Smith. Horrible, even. It's like
another team that I kind of hyped up a little bit. Not looking too good.
I thought they were going to be competent. I mean, they beat the Patriots team, but I don't think the Patriots are very good. And yeah, the Raiders, that's a real problem.
How about that Cowboys and Giants game, though?
Hell of a game. I hate that I missed literally all of it because I was dealing with a bullshit Patriots-Dolphins game.
I was watching that entire game, and I was like, this game's not going to be good. And I was like, you know what? I'll put it on, you know, see what the Cowboys do, see what Russell Wilson does. And I'm like, man, Russell Wilson, 400-plus yards. Malik Neighbors getting wide open. Dak Prescott having a hell of a game. And
Javonte Williams,
the best kicker in the fucking universe, Brandon Aubrey, kicking like 60-plus yards automatic.
Yeah, wild. 64 to tie it to send it to OT, and it was good from 70-plus. Like, he crushed that ball. So good for Brandon Aubrey. We knew he could do it. It's just can you do it in the games? I mean, he's a yard off of the NFL record, and he's just doing it to send it to OT in week 2. Like, hell of a kick. Like, good for the Cowboys. Dak looked good. Love my guy Dak. Javonte Williams, just a fantasy machine right now through 2 weeks, and their offense is good. Their defense, I mean, if you're giving up 37 to the Giants, that's a real issue. It's a real problem if that's what we're doing in week 2. Like that, considering how good they looked in week 1, only 24 points against the Eagles. I know you had the lightning delay and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know what you do from here with the Cowboys, like on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense is going to be
Jerry
good.
actually signed Jadeveon Clowney, 1-year deal. So
yeah, $3.5 million.
Maybe Jadeveon Clowney can finally reach his potential. Former #1 overall pick. Had the huge hit in college against Michigan, which kind of
he was a freaking college
for him, and then injuries kind of destroyed his career. So hopefully for him, he has a home in Dallas and can make some plays. Because, I mean, damn, they need a pass rush. And
needs something.
Maybe Clowney can do that for him.
Yeah, I think what I've learned from the Jadeveon Clowney career so far is that the Texans are not allowed to take a defensive end pass rush with the #1 overall pick. Not allowed anymore. It's banned. Jadeveon Clowney and Mario Williams. No more. Can't do it anymore. No mas. No thank you. That's what I took away from that.
That's #1 right there.
Yeah. So week 2 in the books. A lot of injuries, a lot of bad games. Your team's not dead. My team's dead. Thursday night's not going to be fun. We'll be back on Friday to preview week 2. We're not going to talk about Dolphins-Bills because we're going to record before the game, and I'm not mentioning that on the top. So if you want a Dolphins rant, wait till Monday, and we'll do it then. But that's it for Play Action Take. Shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Ready to drink cans, the Blazing Bloody Mary Mix, the Michelada Mix, the Margarita Mix. They got it all over at Zing Zang. Zang responsibly with Zing Zang. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Next week, we will have a new sponsor, and you want to stay tuned for that one because you'll be able to win off of it just as much as we're winning. So looking forward to that sponsor starting on Monday. Monday's episode, we'll be live with that back on week 2. That sucked. We'll preview week 3 later this week on Thursday. Kush, any last words?
I'm good. Can't wait for more football. I know you can wait, but,
No, Saturday's going to be great. Yeah, you won't see me in Dolphins gear the rest of this season. We'll be rocking the Sim State stuff. But that's it for Play Action Takes, Paul Media's NFL podcast. We'll be back with another episode very, very soon.